Welcome back, fellow YouTube tamers. This is your King Willix, and we are still in the underground. B terminal, no, D terminal, B1. So, we have a mess to deal with. I just got attacked here not too long ago. I had to evolve my Agumon to Greymon for a short period of time just to heal up for a bit. And, yeah, you didn't miss much. So, what we're going to do is try to at least get as much done as we can possible, because we don't have any more healing devices. I don't trust discs, so don't even go there with me. Yeah. So I pretty much stay on the path that I'm on now, which is to get enough money gathered up to get some pizza or KFC, whichever works better, because that's the only thing in my level that I can work with at the moment. And the reason why I say KFC is because in any higher levels, KFC will barely even do anything for you. So whenever you're at Infinity Mountain, that's why they only drop pizza. I believe at this time would be a good time to get KFC to start out with. I mean, yeah, I can go with some vitamin C or whatever it's called, and bread and stuff, but to be honest, it'd be too much money to spend, and I still got to get things up and running still. Like a guild, for instance. I still have plans written out for guilds. I mean, ask anybody. I pretty much need a tablet and a piece of paper, or a tablet and pencil. Don't mind me. I need tablet and pencil to write things down before I even get anything started, because I have ideas out the wazoo to share with people, and for those that actually go with those ideas, tend to agree that it could either be good or it could be bad. Either way, yeah. I'm going to come over here where it's more settling. Hey, I can look through the wall. I see you. This was unintentional too, actually. So somebody asked me what server I was on the other day, and I said, I'm on the Omnimon server. They asked me, don't you mean Omegamon? I'm like, who's Omegamon? No, I'm on the Omnimon server. Because they don't seem to understand. I don't go by the names that are giving on the games. I give the names that I see as an American title. Like, for instance, when Digimon was introduced to America, the first names that I knew them by is who I call them. Anything else would be too confusing for me to understand. Like before, I think it was like the other day or 2 days ago, or 3 days ago even. Frigimon and Mud Frigimon's name changed from those two names to Chucharumon or Yoko something, I can't remember. That's how confusing it is, and it's completely monotonous to call them any other name, or by any other name. So if they wanted to introduce something globally, they would have to stick with one name, so everybody is understanding 100% completely to who they're talking about. Because if not, everybody's going to get thrown off and be confused. That's why I decided one day, this is how I'm going to run the guild. This is how I'm going to do business. This is how I'm going to do this and do that. And to some extent, like 3 out of 4 people agreed. And that's the part I didn't mind. It's like, it's my guild. I can pretty much do what I want with. That's what they told me anyway. So it's like, but it goes beyond that. So whenever I want to run a guild, it's going to be as simple as picking one Royal Knight per person. Anybody who joined the guild would have one Royal Knight to settle down with. But that does not say that they can't collect all the Royal Knights in whatever circle. And I got around to thinking about what that might mean for people who collect Dark Digimon. I'm sitting there like, well, this is going to be confusing because there's no way to pick sides at the moment. And this is way before this event even got started. And I was sitting there thinking, so it's like, you're going to collect Royal Knights, and you're going to collect Dark Digimon. So how is this going to benefit anyone? And they were like, well, for starters, I don't see everything as black and white. I see it the way that it's like, I'm collecting these and so on and so forth. I was like, well, that's fine. I'm not going to, tell you to do it any other way. I mean, but there is a divided line between good and evil, and that's how I want to see things whenever PvP uh, rolls into the game. So it's more competitive than it is just to compare scores through or not PvP, but rating. And the rating system has been up for quite some time. It's just PvP hasn't even gotten started yet. And the first step that I seen uh, Game King make was that they had a divide between who's good and who's evil. And I think that's the guild system that they were coming up with when they started talking about the further updates. And to me, I thought that was a good idea. Because if you pick who's good and evil, and for those who picked the good side, I could see them collecting Dark Digimon as a purification thing. Like, we purified this Digimon, we can use him now. So, yeah. I mean, we didn't have that option before, and it's a good change to actually admit to. So, anybody who thinks that these ideas are just, I don't know, like boring or whatnot, you have to take a tablet, or a pencil. I keep saying piece of paper. Tablet and pencil. Write down some ideas, what you think you can do in your own guild, and then try to run a game on the event base that you would think suitable for you. Because currently, that's what I'm doing at the moment. I'm like collecting data, I'm collecting eggs, I'm hatching all the good Digimon, and uh, to anyone out there who's on the hero side could actually admit to wanting to purify Digimon in that sort of manner, that I'm okay with. But they can't say that Apocalypse and um, Armageddon are stronger than any royal out there, because if you don't think about the number decrease because of the attribute counts, then I hate to say it, but there's something wrong with your math. Because that's the only thing that I had an argument about before, and people disagreed with me. And one of them was sitting out in Dark Tower Wastelands, wanting to put stuff aside to do the Chimeramon Hero Dungeon. And all he wanted to do was talk trash to me repeatedly, and I told him to keep talking because it just adds up to his list. Because he was on the disagreement about how ooh, another GT or JT, not GT. How Apocalypse and Armageddon could beat both Alphamon and Paladin mode in the circumstances that they don't lose any attribute points because of their dark side. And that's the one thing I keep trying to point out to him, but he keeps ignoring that fact like he's right all the time. So it's kind of hard for me to understand how people can go by doing that when they don't do the math. So it's like there's so many how do you say that? Uh, so many like things adding up, like uh, speed counters, what takes away from the attributes, how many counts of the attributes get minus, and stuff like that. So it's like, depending on those circumstances, it's like you have to wait until PvP comes out and then see for yourselves who is the better Digimon. Either Pokemon and Alphamon or Armageddonmon and Paladin mode. Because that's the only thing I can see that would work. And another thing that just popped into my mind is that how are they going to implement PvP when it comes to one-on-one or team sets out there? So that's another thing to think about. And as it stands, they still have one good thing going for them. It's the side measures. And then for me being hero, I have vaccine and what was it? Vaccine and data attributes to connect with my Digimon through my tamer abilities. And that just adds even more so to uh, the fight. So if I added those to go up against those Dark Digimon would guaranteed lose in that match. So there's like a lot of these attributes and abilities and timing that um, figure into the subject in math matter. So if you have like all these rounded up, you would see who would actually do the most damage at the most times. So you would see who would win or who would lose. And it would also come down to a betting matter too, come to think of it. So if you had to, you could actually um, put M's down on who would actually win the most matches between the Royals and the Dark Digimon. And someone brought up in a fact that there was a difference between uh, all four of the Apoclymon. Like, rather if it came from Betamon, uh, MC2, uh, Woodmon, or Bakamon, or whatever the other ones are, or Hagurumon, that they had a subtle difference in attacks. And they said whenever I picked Betamon, I picked the strongest one because the only thing I wanted out of Betamon was the fact that he had a water attribute and his first burst mode, other than Apoclymon, looked so cool. I wanted to ride that thing all the time. And he was like, I don't want to say the fastest, but he was like bright on graphics. So if you would like ran into me at like in the dark, you would see me coming like a mile away. He is that bright. And I'm also one for the Metal Empire, and I need to go heal too. I'm also one for the Metal Empire. That's why I chose him as a partner. Ooh, I forgot I even had bread. So I'm gonna go heal. And with that discussion in mind, I hope you guys can take into those advices that I gave and hopefully use it to a good means of use. Because if my advice fell into the wrong hands, God only knows what would happen next. So I'll leave you to your devices. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. Don't go anywhere.